Yeah, man.
I think I'm going to have to cut most of what I said. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon from the Hill Country to the rest of the world. We are live from Studio B. This is the That's Best podcast. I'm your host, Brian Snyder, and today I've got Tally with me because, oh my God. Yeah, he's ready, primed, ready to go. Friend of mine, Robert, sent me a price list from a photographer in Eagle Pass.
Let's get into this.
I don't care.
Let's get into this.
So we are going to go and just have fun at this.
Let's
Package one.
Get in to this, because this is what I'm passionate about, because there are so many people that are doing this, and I've seen this, and we need to talk about it. So
yeah. So do we go through each package individually, or just all the packages?
Nope. Just go through every single package so they know what we're working with here.
All right. Package one. 30-minute session, 6 edited photos, 1 location, online gallery for the grand prize of $20. Package.
Slow down, because you're breezing through these. I want to get a real. The second one, just read it a little bit slower.
Okay. Package 2. 40-minute session.
40 minutes.
8 edited photos.
8.
1 location. 2 outfits.
2 outfits.
1 gallery.
How many galleries would you get? Is there an option for multiple galleries? Okay.
For the grand prize of $25.
So five more dollars than package 1.
Now package 3. This one is the premier package. If you're gonna go big, you go big or go home, right? So why go with package 1 when package 3 is an option here?
All right.
Package 3, 45-minute session, 5 minutes more than package 2 for 2 people.
2+ people.
So that's even more.
Yeah, so you can have 2+ people is 15 people.
100 people.
That's a 100-person group shot right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love that. 12 edited photos.
Golly, man.
2 locations. 2 outfits. And an online gallery.
So, okay, here's the thing. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
What's the price?
The grand prize of $30.
$20, $25, and $30, right?
I don't know, man. Package 3.
Okay, so I want to preface this conversation, right, by saying that this is not a
Joke.
roast or joke of this photographer in general.
I can say the name if you want me to.
Brian chose violence today. Or
did.
Anybody else doing this, right? But it is worth a conversation, right? Because
Eagle Pass, what are you doing?
if you are doing this, if this is how you are running your business, you are doing yourself as well as the photography community a major disservice. And we'll talk about why that is right now. So let's break this down, right? So package 1, 30 minutes, 6 edited photos, 1 location, and a gallery, right? So 30 minutes, and you might as well work at McDonald's. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there is nothing that you are adding value to with what you're doing by charging $20 for a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Cheap work has it tells me that your work is cheap, right? Like if you're doing this, if you're doing an entire photo shoot for 30 minutes, and you're only charging $20, you're not either not spending a lot of time on editing or delivering photos as they are. You are not valuing your time getting there. You're not valuing your time, for prep. You're literally, if you're charging this, I would imagine it's like, hey, can you do this? Okay, that's $20. I'll meet you there. You do the photo shoot, and you can literally export your card directly to the gallery because you're not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
But even that, your time to get there, shoot for 30 minutes, and even export it's not worth more than $20.
Because I can tell you, Pixie Set, you ain't paying that with that.
And what do you and you're delivering by Dropbox. You're
Dropbox?
You're not doing, this is not a professional. There's no way you can sustain a professional photography business charging $20 per session, because your overhead alone with subscriptions to Adobe, gallery, hosting, all of that is going to eat up your bottom line. So I don't understand how this is sustainable. Now, and then you can get into the argument like, well, I have a 9 to 5. I do photography as a hobby. The price really doesn't matter to me. This is just for gas money. Like, I don't care about that. I love photography so much. What I'm charging doesn't matter. That's great, but it's also doing the photography community a disservice, because there are people out there making a living off of doing this. And when you come in and you undercut by that much, and you're essentially giving away the service, you're hurting an entire community of people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into making images. They do consultation calls with the client. They show up early to scope out the scene. They care about the editing process. Like, just, one photo is like you're messing with the sliders for 30, 40 minutes to get it perfectly, or to get it perfect. It is stuff like this is devaluing what we do as photographers, and it has to stop. It has to cease. Like, I would rather her not charge anything.
Yeah. At
that point, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to do it as a hobby, just do it as a hobby. Like, I don't understand the $20, $25, $30 charges for this stuff. Like, what is that supposed to do?
And I did my research on this person too. Found out they've been quiet. They haven't been taking pictures for 2 years, and now they're getting back into it. So I'm like, oh my God. Bro. Mind you, this work ain't even worth $20.
Yeah,
I've seen all the pictures. I went and did some research again to make sure maybe they've had some pictures in the past that are worth it. They are not worth $20.
Wow.
I can get better for cheaper, and cheaper being free.
You are... You're more worked up than I am.
Oh, I am, because this is my hometown. Like, so many people are deciding to get a camera January 1st at 12 p.m. And then at January 1st at 4 p.m., they're wanting to start charging because that's how long it took them to make a flyer. And so now they're over there charging people because they just randomly got a camera. Like, dude, you haven't even put in the work to learn what you're trying to do. You're just going to put the thing in auto, go out and press a button, and pay me $20 because I have a camera. Like, dude.
So let's step back a little bit, right? Because I'm thinking about this from a standpoint of, because when I bought my first camera, right, the reason that I bought my first camera is because I wanted to take pictures of my daughter for her birthday. Yeah. And it was like, well, I can get, a camera. I'm interested in photography. I've always, been interested in taking pictures and all that. How hard can it be? I want to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I want you okay there? I want to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
And after I bought my camera, and we've had this conversation before, like, it's hard to, like, get into something and not figure out a way to monetize it, especially if you want to do it full time.
Yeah.
You want to figure out a way, how can I make a living off of something that I love to do, right? And when I got the camera, it was immediately, how can I monetize this? And when you're getting started, yes, Like, you have to look at your skill level. You have to look at other people that are like, man, there's no way I can charge the same amount as this person over here. So the very first photo shoot that I did, and you get into it and it's like, man, should I charge for this? Like, do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere. I charged $50 for my very first shoot. Yeah. I delivered every single image that I took, and I was heavy with the shutter. Like, I probably took like 500 or 600 pictures for a 1 hour session. I edited like probably most of them, and I delivered that all for $50. After that first shoot, I told myself I will never do that again. Yeah. Because even as a beginner, I realized like the amount of time that it took me to prep for this shoot, to get out there, to get on location, to edit all of these photos and deliver all these photos took way too, like, it took a lot of time.
Yeah.
So it was either charge, more and deliver a subpar product, or learn how to be a better photographer so your pictures can reflect the prices that you're charging.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, like I need to and I didn't even do I didn't even do a photo shoot for a while after that, unless it was like family or whatever. And I didn't actually start charging until I knew I was at the level that I wanted to be to charge what I needed to charge, right?
Yeah.
And you have to practice. So it's a catch-22, but this should not be your prices, your standard prices forever.
Yeah.
Like, maybe for a one-off, but this is a flyer. This exists. You know what I mean? Like, this is what she's charging. It seems like standard. You know what I mean? Like, this might be like a one-off. Like, I want to get something in my portfolio. Maybe I charge a couple of times just to get something under my belt. Maybe I shoot something free just to get my portfolio right. But this should not be your standard pricing. Like, your pricing should, I would say reflect, but I mean, the images, I haven't seen the images. I'm just looking at what's right here. But by what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, so here's the question. Based off of what you saw, what should she be charging?
Free. That, again, I mean, I don't care.
Okay, so let's back up. So if she had to charge something, this is what she wanted to do. She can't do it for free.
Yeah.
What should be the process? Should she be charging this and trying to improve, or should she be upping her prices even for what she's delivering now?
She'd be learning first. True. And then charging. Because, I mean, because here was my process when I got into it. Like, I didn't even charge people from the get-go. I went and started learning how to take a picture the right way. And, doing classes and trying to provide a value to the people that were going to be giving me money.
Yeah.
And so just because I had a camera didn't mean I was going to start charging people. And that's what people are doing right now. They think photography is like a quick way to get a buck. Like, no. And that's what I see right there. And that's what I see multiple times in those community groups from back in Eagle Pass. And I know it happens everywhere, even here in San Antonio. But it just ticks me off when I see people like this person or a couple other people that I could name drop right now. But, I just stuffed my face with a lot of meat.
For the sake of, look.
Like, I am a little happier now.
Look, Kendrick. Don't start name dropping.
Monster!
So, and I have some notes here that I want to touch on because I want to make sure we cover everything. So let's talk about like overhead costs, right?
Yeah.
So overhead costs, and when we mentioned that just a little while ago, so you have your gear, cameras, lenses, lights, your memory cards, batteries, things like that. You have your editing software, Lightroom, Photoshop, cloud storage, things like that. You have your website. Does she have a website?
Thank God, no.
So you should have a website as a photographer, right? If you have your equipment, you should have insurance. You should have liability insurance. You should have, everything that's associated with being a photographer. So even educational courses, you spend money on, classes to get better. I mean, there's YouTube University, which is free, but you want to take, something, I think that it is important to do extended learning, like anything that you're interested in.
Right.
Invest in yourself. So that is a cost that is usually associated with, your overhead costs, and it's ongoing, right? Like you don't just pay for a class and then that's it. Like you should be continuing to learn throughout your career.
Right.
But even with all of that, if you're a professional photographer and you are charging up to $30 for a session like this, you are now losing money because Adobe alone for the smallest package is what, $30.
Yeah.
So if you have Photoshop or Lightroom, you are losing money on a shoot. Now I don't know how many shoots she gets, per week or per month, but you have to shoot a lot of package number 3s in order to break even.
Yeah.
In order to, pay for your subscriptions, to pay for your camera gear. I have no idea how she upgrades her gear from shoots like this, $2,000, $3,000 bodies, $2,000, $3,000 lenses, memory cards, flash. And I'm assuming this is all natural light. She's a natural light shooter, so she's not doing flash or anything right now. But just the trying to upgrade your equipment and trying to stay, ahead of the game is going to be super hard when you're charging $20 to $30 for a package like this. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. So we were starting with the packages. So package 3, right? So tell me your thoughts on this. With the 45 minutes, and she says 2+ people, which it doesn't even give a cap. Yeah. So again, this could be 100 people.
It could be the whole town of Eagle Pass.
Right. 45 minutes, 2 people, 12 edited photos, 2 locations is what gets me. So you're stopping, unloading gear, getting off, shooting, and then getting back in your car and going. I guess it's unlimited. What if you're driving across town 30, 40 minutes across town? You've just added essentially another package 1 onto your shoot, because now you are changing locations and 2 outfits. That's close to what, like, a package that I have. So for a package 3, and I don't even do 2 locations. I do 1 location.
Yeah.
I'm right at 400. So versus $30.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a huge difference. So what, as a consumer, right? You look at something that's $30 and you look at something that's $400. And I was going to ask you about this, but I'll make a point here. So $30 versus $400. Let's say we're not even talking about photography at this point. Yeah. Let's say we're just talking about an item that you're wanting to get. $30 versus $400. Your perception on that item or that service is that the $400 item is going to be better. It's going to be more valuable. It's going to be more impactful versus the $30 item that is going to be cheap, that you can dismiss very easily. You're not expecting a whole lot from it. Like, this can be thrown away, right? I wouldn't think about a $30 shoot being, hey, I'm going to have this hung up in my home and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a timepiece, right? Versus a $400 item. You're like, hey, I'm spending some money on this. I'm investing in this product. Because I want the best, right? But I'm offering the same stuff that she's offering for $30.
Yeah.
Why is that price difference there? because that 45-minute session is not a 45-minute session. That's not all it is. It's also the editing. It's also the pre-consultation. It's also the time that it takes to get on site. It's the time that it takes to find the right location. There's a lot that goes into it. Like, you're talking about 4 to 5 hours of actual work on this project. Maybe even more. But yeah, I can't see how you're making a living off of charging that. So what are your thoughts, man?
I just want to say, you prefaced it, and I should probably reiterate that it sounds like I'm angry, and I am.
You are. And I'm angry too. I'm trying to play devil's advocate, and so we're not both bashing on this. But I feel the same as you do. I'm just trying to I'm trying to make this not one-sided because yeah.
And maybe it should, because man. And so to go back to something that you said earlier, for the people that are just doing this as a hobby, they have their regular job, they have something else, and they're like, yeah, I'll do this on the side and I won't charge too much because I just want some extra cash to spend here and there. Then do it for free. There's other people that are trying to actually live off of this thing or build their company, build a portfolio, all this stuff so that they can grow their business and whatnot. And you're over there, I'll do this for free or I'll do this for $20-$30 because I just need some extra money, whatever. Dude.
So, okay, here's the thing. I get that. So the free, I think the reason that this is hitting a chord with us is because I don't think it's because it's the $20, $25, $30. I think it's because it's marketed and packaged as a professional top tier thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The way that it's laid out.
I like the layout.
Yeah. but this is very on brand with how a more expensive photographer would introduce themselves and lay out their products. So when we look at this and we're seeing all of these things, if you took just the prices and you're looking at this and you're like, okay, I see that. I can see the effort here, but then you see what they value themselves at.
Yeah.
I think that is where we're getting hung up because you're putting all of this effort and all of this into producing something that looks great up top. But then when you talk about what you're worth and you see $20, $25, $30, it's like, this is not more valuable than that to you. So, and I think that is also reflected on how we see ourselves because if you see yourself as charging $20, $25, $30 an hour, you're basically devaluing the photography community, and you don't value the work as somebody that is put almost all of themselves into it. It's like a fly by night thing. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think it's I get the free thing. I'm you know how I feel about that. I don't like people doing things for free. I said, especially if they're trying to make a living off of it. The first time, maybe for family and stuff as you're getting going, yes, but and I've told you this story before, right? I learned very early on that people who support you will invest in your craft, in your business. When I was doing computers, and I learned, I learned this a long time ago. When I was doing computers, I had my computer repair business. My grandfather asked me to come over and fix his computer. I went over there to fix his computer, did the virus removal and everything. And he was like, well, how much do I owe you? And I was like, no, you're my granddaddy. You're not going to pay me. And that's when he told me that. He's like, look, I support you. I believe in your business. Yep. I'm like any other client. I'm basically sewing into your business. How much?
Yeah.
And I'm like I appreciate that to me. If my grandfather is gonna pay for service, everybody's getting the invoice. Yeah. Everybody's getting the invoice. If my own family can support me and knows the concept of supporting a business and sewing into a business, everybody can understand that concept. Yeah. So, this is, I think that again, she's charging. She's just not charging enough.
Yeah.
Like I think that this needs to be even an entry level for like package one should be like maybe 150.
Yeah.
Let's look at this from even as a beginner, right?
Yeah.
150. Let's say 100. Let's 100, 150, $200 for package 3.
Right.
As far as time, right? Mm-hmm. But that not only takes care of your wallet and takes care of like some of your overhead costs, but it also does something else. It puts that pressure on you to produce better.
Yeah.
Because you're charging more. Even if you don't think that you deserve that $200 for package 3 because you're just starting, now it's like, oh, I'm charging $200 for package 3. Like I need to produce $200 work if I don't think that I'm there yet. So it not only takes care of your overhead, but it also forces you to be a better photographer or whatever, you're charging. Like, charge your worth and then, meet that expectation,
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, yeah. So, and then clients respect, what they pay for. I think I just said that. So, with the whole $30 versus $400, like they respect what they pay for. Like if they're paying $30 on it, they're not going to respect it like a $400 shoot, and then it might be budget wise, like some people just can't, they're not going to pay $400. And here's the other thing. Mm-hmm. Photography is not a necessity.
Yeah.
It's not a necessity. Like we get that. It's not a necessity. People don't need photography.
Yeah.
It is definitely an optional thing to have. Yeah. Point blank. Like everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has, a way to take pictures of themselves. But if you want to look a certain way for a website or for business, like I think a lot of people can understand and appreciate the value of high quality photography for different things. If you want to put your best foot forward and you want to show the best of yourself, you're not going to do it with a cell phone.
Yeah.
You're getting better, but like you're still going to pay some money. But that also comes with, if your business is doing well, let's get better photography. If I'm doing better in life, let's get great family photos.
Yeah.
If you can't afford photography, maybe this is appealing, like, bro, I don't know, man. I feel like this is a joke. Like, I feel like this is a joke and we are in the twilight zone because these prices, I just don't understand them. I don't understand how you make money and be successful with these prices.
Yeah. No.
You got very quiet. I feel like I've been talking a lot and and look, I'm like back and forth with this. Like I can understand it. I don't like it. Let me make that perfectly clear. I don't agree with this and I don't like it, but I understand the thought process behind it. But this thought process needs to change. Like this is not sustainable, not only for you as a business, but as for the photography community. This can't be the norm because it's a race to the bottom at that point.
Yeah.
Like you have, tons of people undercutting each other. Then you kill. Could you imagine a plumber? Like, yeah, I can swap out your toilet for $10.
Yeah.
I can run. Could you imagine an electrician like, hey, I can run a new outlet from your garage, from your box in the garage to your living room. Yeah, $20. Like you are not going to believe that that's going to be not only safe, but going to be a good job. He's literally going to run an extension cord from the garage through your house and then like, beat into your drywall and then like tape the extension cord there. That's the kind of, you know what I mean? Like you don't see other professions out there undercutting and devaluing their work like that.
Yeah.
you know, like, so why should photography be any different?
Yeah.
You know, now I do understand that I picked two professions that you have to be licensed to do. So you know, but you know, take it for what it is. You know, baking a cake. You know, if I sell you a $5 cake, you're not going to, you know, that's not going to be, the ingredients themselves are going to be more than $5. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what this is. The ingredients to this are more than what she's charging. But, bro, come on, chime in. Look, I'm going on and on. You know, I can't get with this.
So the other, well, okay, so we can't necessarily say anything about like the people that are actually buying this stuff because they have a right to choose.
Yeah.
But they they are the other reason why this works, because people are still biting onto it. And it's like, well, I mean, I can pay that. I can charge that because I get paid by it. People still book me. Like, and I was about to say something else that was way out of pocket, so I'm just gonna.
Hey, that's your intro. That's your out of pocket intro that you always put. Go ahead, because then you can.
This was like super out of pocket. Like if I say it, we may have to just restart the episode.
No, you can cut it later. If it goes from right now and it cuts in the podcast to something else later, just know that whatever Brian's about to say right now is so out of pocket we couldn't even air it. Go ahead. Yeah. So what Brian said was probably out of pocket, so we cut that out. No, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like yeah, that's.
You're still gonna reference it though? We cut it out.
I don't know. Either way,
I'll talk to my editor.
Yeah, it's your podcast, but yeah, that's gonna be tough, man. Like you don't.
I just feel like, because, okay, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
She can absolutely do some good work. Just put in the time, learn what you're doing, and charge your worth. And there's other photographers there in Eagle Pass too that it seems like they just slide up on that saturation and call it a day. Like, no, don't just try to find the easy way out. Or even some other people that just use presets. And they're like, slap preset 01 or preset 05 and then export, and hey, there's your photos. Like, no, learn how to edit these things.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get to a point to, like, I heard about someone else there in Eagle Pass was getting a job or getting a client, and they were like, hey, well, can you edit these things here? And they're like they got stuck because they're so used to editing with presets. Like, no, you can use a preset as a, like, little step forward. Don't get me wrong. I've done that multiple times and sometimes still do. But when push comes to shove and I'm on a new computer or something, I know what I'm going to do.
But even with the presets, like, you know how to take the photo. So a preset is not going to fix a terrible photo. A preset, it helps you, it gives you a starting point. And if you do a good job with the photo, it a lot of times a preset can just kind of be the cherry on top.
Yeah.
So, like, I get that, you know, and sometimes with fast delivery and fast turnaround, you use a preset and, you know, it is what it is. But one of the things is eventually, so your $20 client is subconsciously going to expect $200 results. They're gonna expect something better or something more valuable than $20.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, whatever you think that you're going to get for $20, you think that you're going to get better than your iPhone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're expecting professional results.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's something about, like, you know, especially with technology now, like, you can take your iPhone photos and drop them in and put a preset on them. But there's something about it that's just not quite that professional look. Otherwise, everybody, you know, nobody would be purchasing photography packages if your phones were doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But the other point to that is, eventually, she's going to grow out of this, whether she likes it or not, and she's going to want to charge more. And it's going to be hard because with these prices, she's always going to be known as that cheap photographer.
Yeah.
And the minute anybody that purchases these packages, the minute they want something better, they are not going to think about her.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, that was the cheap one. I'm doing a little better now. Let me get something better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even a cheap client knows that subconsciously. They're going to, if they ever come across money and they're like, hey, I want something good, they are never going to reference this photographer in this price list because they know this is cheap work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the minute they want to get something better, they're going to say, hey, like, let me find somebody that their prices reflect what I want, because your prices indicate how you perceive your work.
Yeah.
And even how other people perceive your work. Because if people are paying your prices for what you're charging, if you're charging $400, $500, $600, there's people out there charging $1,000 for headshots.
Yeah.
And they are booked. You know what I mean? Like, people are paying it. So who's to tell that person that their work is not worth it? Because obviously people think that work is worth it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if she ever wants to, and then, you know, these clients that are paying this, they're going to see, and here's the other thing. People who are paying these prices, personally, these are not the people that I want to work with.
Absolutely.
Because these are the people that are going to be the most, they're going to expect the most. Mm-hmm. They don't want to pay a lot.
Yeah.
They're looking for the cheapest deal.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't like to work with people like that. You know, maybe this is, maybe we should be applauding this because this gives them somewhere to go. But, you know, as this photographer, I think you're hurting yourself more than helping yourself, and hurting the community more than helping the community by charging these rates. And yeah,
there's a TEMU community for photographers too, and that's where that falls.
Yeah.
Because if you want quality, you'll go and find quality. If you want TEMU products, there it is.
That is a great analogy. No, seriously, like, because you see stuff on TEMU, and you look. Nobody ever goes to TEMU for quality.
Yeah.
You go to TEMU because TEMU is cheap.
Yeah. You
go look on TEMU because TEMU is cheap, and then you see something, you're like, I can deal with that, even if it doesn't come out great, even if I get it and it's trash, it's only 99 cents. Yeah. Let me just order it.
Yeah.
And then you order it and you get it and it's like, oh, that's cool. And you appreciate it for a split second, and then it ends up behind your dresser.
Yeah.
You don't respect the quality from TEMU. And that's that was a great analogy. This is TEMU prices for TEMU, photography. Yeah. I mean,
you don't go on TEMU expecting to see Jordans. You'll find Heralds, but you won't.
You'll find the Jordans, Jordoffs. These are new Michael Jordoffs. The Sitmans. Oh man,
the Lululemons,
the Lulu oranges. These are the Lulu oranges. You know.
Oh gosh!
Instead of polo, yeah, this is my new rugby shirt.
Instead of Dutch bros, it's Mex bros.
We can go on.
Instead of Sony, it's Nikon.
Oh man, sorry. That was low hanging fruit right there. Sorry to all the Nikon shooters out there.
Yeah. Hey, they did come out with a new camera.
Look, man, say what you want about Nikon. I say what I want about Nikon.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
stepping it up.
They're stepping it up. Look, I can't hate on Nikon like I used to. They're stepping it up, and with their acquirement of Red, I mean, I guess, but yeah, I'm not a Nikon hater. I just
Yeah. It's just fun to.
it's just fun. It's just fun. You guys are, it's low hanging fruit. I mean, it's always easy to rag on Nikon, but yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up.
100%.
I think it's not gonna be long until I have a Nikon in my hand.
That's if you don't already have one in your cart.
No, and again, with the whole thing about being able to put the Sony lens on there, that's the only reason, because I don't have to fully switch. Like, I can try it on Nikon, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. Nikon, we love you, whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. Anything else about this? And I told him when he showed me this, it made me upset. Like, it made me mad.
Yeah,
like, same. And again, not even for the fact of the for this person, man. Like there's people out here that think this lowly of themselves, like,
yeah,
just try harder, do better work and charge more. Like, you can go and work at Office Depot for this. You can go work at, what's the what you call it that you
Lowe's.
No, well, yeah, anywhere. Like, you're charging minimum wage.
Yeah.
This is minimum wage, what you're charging. Like, you could literally do anything else and make more money, because this isn't even what do you call it? Reoccurring. Like, this is like, if you go get a 9 to 5, you can make more than this, and be more steady, versus $20 maybe every week or so. And again, I don't know if she's got a 9 to 5 and this is just what she's charging, as a little pickup. But even as a pickup, like, you can't even fill your gas tank up for $20.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And tariffs about to kick in, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah.
What was that thing you were saying earlier? Having to pay tariffs and tips.
And tips, man. So look, okay. And this has nothing to do. Do you mind?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this has nothing to do.
We can record more now.
With this, but in general, like, what are y'all's thoughts about, like, tips, right? Like, I hate going in and having to tip before I get my item or my service. So like, if you go into a coffee shop, you pay for your coffee. As you pay, you leave a tip. A lot of restaurants you go into, you pay, you leave a tip right when you're paying before you get your food or the service. Like, what is tipping for? It's because you appreciate the effort that went into either the service or the item or whatever. I don't know, tipping or what it's supposed to be, but you haven't gotten either of those things. You're pre-tipping.
Yeah.
And then you get bad food or bad service or bad whatever, and you're like, what did I tip for? Like, this isn't what I expected. This is awful. Like, give me my tip back. But then when you reach your hand in the jar to get it back, they look at you like, no. Hey, that's our you didn't give me what I expected. I've never done that, but just in general, like, so, like I brought up earlier, like with the restaurants, like, if you go sit down and you're waited on, and they bring you your drinks and they bring you your food, and hey, can I get you anything else? I get, like, you tip that person for their time, like, to come in and wait on you, right? But for anything else, like, if I have to go and put my order in at a kiosk, I am not, like, why are you tipping for that? Why are you asking for a tip? If you are, okay, so, like, we went out earlier. We got barbecue, right? They took our order and asked for a tip as we were paying. Now, this isn't, they don't come into your table. Like, you got to get your own tea. You got to get your own condiments. You got to get everything after you pay. Like, what are you tipping for? You tipping the cook? Like, that's your job description, bruh. Like, that's what you got hired for. You know what I mean? And then these, and I don't know, man. I just feel, and even like say like Olive Garden, because I used to work at Olive Garden, so I understand like tips are important because they pay below minimum wage. Yeah. You only make like $3.18, and I don't understand how they get away with that. Like you should be making at least the minimum wage. Yeah. Like my tip shouldn't have to fund the rest of what you're making. You should be making a decent living, and then tips are on top of that.
Right.
That's what I believe, right? But when you are getting paid above minimum wage, $10 an hour, $15 an hour, and you're collecting tips on top of that for what your job description is, and you give no service or no additional benefits to the basic job description and what I'm paying for, what am I tipping for?
Yeah. Now, and that's not to say like if they gave us an option after, like, okay, this is what y'all got, and we're coming to pick up the bill.
Yeah.
If it was at the same restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, that please give this chef this tip because that was some good barbecue today.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I just got there.
I just I'm literally, I haven't even gotten to the building yet. And today we walked in and it smelled like skunk. Like, you want me to tip? And I'm like, the experience is already bad. Like, I don't know. Now, let me also say that every time that I've been asked to tip, even pre-tipping, I always tip just because this is the culture that we're in now. Like, we're in tipping culture. So it's not that I don't tip or that I'm cheap and I'm not doing it. I just don't understand why we have to. Because I would like not to.
Do you think that's the problem then?
Well,
because they still get away with it, just like these people who get to charge these prices?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's so embedded in our culture now. Like everything, there's and if you don't, you feel like a asshole because you didn't.
Yeah.
And you're, oh, you didn't tip me?
Yeah.
You didn't tip me for taking your order and standing here and being nice to you? What a butthole. Like I just want a cup of coffee. Like you just hand it to me like what is
yeah, like again, for example, let's talk about like coffee, like Merit or even Summer Moon. Like they're getting all this stuff prior to getting your coffee.
Yes.
If I'm able to
and
pay
I've
for
had
my
bad coffee before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I'm able to pay for my thing then and there, and then have the option to tip after I get my coffee where they hand it to me, if I can like take a sip or something, like, ooh, that's good. Okay, here's a tip for that.
Yeah.
Then I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But I still haven't gotten my coffee yet.
So here's an alternative way to do that, right? Like you pay for it, you don't ask for a tip when you pay, but when you go down and go to sit down at your table, or they can put like a thing on the side of a cup, like a QR code. If you enjoyed your coffee, leave us a tip.
Yeah.
It, like you said, it should be an after you get what you get, what you're paying for, or after you get the service and you enjoy it. I'm pretty sure that is what tipping is for. It's an appreciation of the service or the product that you've gotten.
Yeah.
Not pay for it and tip us because of what you expect it to be. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's not. Like sometimes you've already collected my tip and then I get bad service and bad food or bad product. It's like, what am I pre-tipping for if it's going to be either or? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So because I think I'm gonna run for mayor.
You'll be number 28.
we're gonna redo tipping in San Antonio.
Come on.
Yeah.
So Taliaferro, tell me.
Nope. 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 We're not. Nope. Mm-mm.
I mean, no, but truthfully though, like so you pointed at that thing. My mind was still on the tips. It went there, and I'm like, but I was trying to make a point with like the meat, and
if you could tie that in, that would be great.
Yeah. So I mean, just the fact that like everybody's like, oh, Bryan, you've lost me already. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is just
restart.
Yeah, we didn't. We both came with notes, but yeah, this is just all over the place. Just a conversation.
So yeah, I mean, tipping. If you can tip for good service at a restaurant because it's worth it, and I wouldn't mind spending like $20 at a barbecue restaurant if it's worth it, which is kind of almost standard. Like, you're not going to go and expect to pay $8 for a barbecue plate. Like, that's pretty rare.
Oh, you're talking about
for barbecue? Like,
yeah, it's gonna be more than it's gonna be more than 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, especially in Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, there's Franklin's Barbecue. That's not like cheap.
$15 for a quarter pound or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, gosh. But
like that.
That's standard there. Like, if they came over and just, all right, we're going to charge $5 for a quarter pound
You're talking about this,
of brisket and stuff. No. Still with that.
For a tip?
To relate to this.
Yes.
To say, if a brisket restaurant charged barbecue restaurant charged $5 for a half pound of brisket or turkey or whatever. Yeah.
It's going to be dry.
Oh, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, it is.
And you know never to go there again. Same thing here.
Yeah.
If I know I'm going to get quality stuff from somebody who can do some great work, and I've seen it time and time again, and they're consistent with their work, then I'm going to go to that person.
Right.
Versus this one who's at $20, 25, 30. Like, sure, that may look appealing.
Hit or miss. Yeah. You're probably not going to get what you want. And on the other side of that, the $15, Terry Blacks or wherever, they will never come down to $5.
Yeah,
because they understand what they're worth. Now they could, and they would clean up. Like, oh, $5 Terry, like everybody would be headed over there.
Yeah,
but that's not what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, because the supply that they have of the brisket that they're cooking or whatever the meats, and then like, why not make more money or be able to pay more people and make a living charging what you want instead of undercutting and just being at $5?
Yeah.
Same thing. We only have so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
So whatever time that you don't have like to devote to this, and you're spending time with your family, doing your own thing, like spending you time, like all of this cuts into that.
Right.
Like you're going to have to spend more hours doing $20 shoots to make a living, and you were going to take up your entire day trying to make ends meet because you're at $20.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to, be able to cover basic living expenses, like, you're going to be working all day, every day, if you can find that many people wanting to spend $20 on a photo shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Barbecue is not a necessity.
It's not.
But people still go and pay the price because it's worth it.
Every day.
And in the same way, know your worth. Even if you're like, man, but I don't know who would pay this. Your clients will come.
Somebody will pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to charge your worth. Don't undermine yourself. Like, I'm, and we'll definitely have another episode about this part, but like, just also the imposter syndrome of like, can I charge that? Because I'm either at this level or whatever. Like, yes.
That's a whole episode in itself too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just being able to break through that. Am I good enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good episode too. Cause that's,
yeah. So
I had issues with that at first.
Oh, still do.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, like this 20, 25, 30, it angers me in a righteous anger because this should not be done.
Yeah. And let me just, again, I want to just say that this is in no way a jab at this particular photographer. We're not going to mention any names. I know Bryan wanted to mention names earlier. This is not a jab at this particular photographer. This is just a kind of a wake-up call, especially for people who are just starting in photography and getting into it to kind of really take your pricing and your time seriously, especially if you want this to be a long-term thing for you, if you want to make money off of this, if you want to make a living off of this. Understanding what you're charging and your finances behind what you're charging is just as important as the photography that you're doing, because without the right pricing, you will never be able to make a living off of what you love to do. So you really have to evaluate where you are skill wise and where you are in your pricing, and that should always be fluctuating. So like I reevaluate my prices every quarter. And, sometimes they're up, depending on the season. If it's a busy season, I might bring them up a little bit. If it's a slow season, I might bring them down. But I'm not deviating too far off. But, it just adjusts based off of, my workload and things like that. So it's always an ongoing thing. But, yeah, you should always, make sure that your time is fairly compensated for what you're providing.
Yeah. So, as we get ready to close, let's close our eyes and bow our heads.
For this photographer.
Lord!
Yeah, make a way. Make a way for
her and everybody else, man, that's charging this stuff. But yeah, no, put in the work, learn what you're doing, and charge what you're worth. And if you just got your first camera and you're still learning how to do this stuff, don't charge just yet. Learn what value you bring to the client, and then make that assessment. Because maybe this photographer's like, I don't even know what I should be charging, so I'm just going to slap some numbers and see if that works. Like, oh, you got my attention.
Yeah, you got the wrong attention. Yeah, I guess like what you're saying earlier, just if that's the case, do some free work just to get. If this is just a thing about getting experience, I don't know what $20 is going to do. Like you said, I guess it would be better just to, say it's free, just so you can get the experience, and instead of, I think it's because of the value. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing it for free, people understand that, and you could preface that by like, hey, I'm up, I'm trying to get a portfolio going. Yeah. This is my plan. I'm trying to get a portfolio going. This is why it's free. Yeah. Versus you see these it's the pricing. It's because people, there's nothing about, hey, portfolio special. This is just standard pricing that I'm seeing. And this, to me, when I see this is like an ongoing pricing. Like this is set for the foreseeable future. Yeah. This is not temporary. Mm-hmm. I think that's the problem. But doing free work and getting your portfolio going is I think that's very different than what we're seeing here. But I do agree with that.
Yeah, so give us a call, 1-800 fix my prices.
That's not a real number. So don't call it.
But if there's any questions, or if you want to go off on me, you can find me on Instagram at the Bryan Snyder. If you want to thank Tally for his kindness and his sweet, loving heart, at Pharaoh Visuals.
And look, and I am also available for mentorship and as like questions, because like we're not, and so is Bryan. Like we're not doing this. Like we want to help. Like if you don't know like what your prices should be, like I'm always down to like help. And I don't charge for it. I don't charge for it. I should be charging. But I love seeing photographers do bigger and better things, and whatever I can do to help, stuff that I've learned over years of doing this. If I can make a shortcut for somebody to get there quicker than I did, I'm all about that. There's so much work out here. Like there's no gatekeeping going on around here. So my inbox is also open just for questions, and love to help out.
Yeah, and I do have to attest to that. I've had a couple friends even prior to like me getting closer to you, that a couple friends were like, "Oh, does Tally do this or that or whatever, and I'm like, ask them. and you have, like, they've told me where you'll answer their questions, or like, do you think he will answer this? And I'm like, well, ask him, and you do. So I can attest that, like, he will actually answer.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. So, give us a follow, Instagram.com/@TheBryanSnyder or at Pharaoh Visuals. Check out, what else? Your website, www.pharaohvisuals.com. Doing it right? Look at that. And then www.TheBryanSnyder.com.
And make sure you buy the book.
Yes. Yeah, taking the first shot, because you know what? There's going to be a special with that. You're going to get this flyer with the book.
Yeah? And sell your book for $1?
There. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Alrighty, well.
That was fun, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go keep drinking my sweet tea. Go get a glass of sweet tea. Tell somebody that you love them, and we will catch you on the next one.